One of the problems that students have with Pride and Prejudice is they have trouble keeping the names of the people, the names of their estates, where they live, and all of that straight. So I made this presentation for you to use when you get confused. So let's begin. The first 5 of these are estates. Longbourn is the estate or the home of the Bennet family. Netherfield is the home of the Bingley family. At the beginning of the novel, they've just rented Netherfield, and that's the big news in town. Lucas Lodge, and I hope you never miss this one on a quiz, is the home of, yes, the Lucas family. Pemberley is the home of the Darcy family, and Rosings is the home of Lady Catherine de Bourgh. Now, all of those are their homes, but they're also large estates. The other 2 on this page are something different. Meryton is a small town near Longbourn Estate where the Phillips family lives, and I'll talk about them in a minute. Cheapside is a part of London where the Gardiners live. Now, the main family in this novel is the Bennet family. We have Mr. and Mrs. Bennet, whose first names we never learn. Their eldest daughter is Jane, then Elizabeth, Mary, Kitty, Lydia. The Phillips family lives in Meryton, nearby, and that is Mr. and Mrs. Phillips. Mr. Phillips is an attorney, and Mrs. Phillips is Mrs. Bennet's sister. The Gardiners are Mr. and Mrs. Gardiner, and Mr. Gardiner is Mrs. Bennet's brother, and they live in the section of London called Cheapside. They have various unnamed children. I assume they actually have names, but they're not named in the novel. The Lucas family. Sir and Lady Lucas. Charlotte, who is 27 years old, and she is Elizabeth Bennet's best friend. Maria is her sister, and she's quite a bit younger. And then they have various other children who also are never named in the novel. And here's the Bingley family. We have Charles Bingley, who has 2 sisters. Louisa Hurst, who's married to, obviously, Mr. Hurst, and Caroline, who is single. The Darcy family consists of Fitzwilliam Darcy, which you won't hear him called Fitzwilliam through most of the novel. They'll just call him Mr. Darcy or Darcy, just the way Charles Bingley is not called Charles Bingley. He's referred to as Bingley or Mr. Bingley. Anyway, Fitzwilliam Darcy has a much younger sister named Georgiana. The de Bourgh family. This is headed by Lady Catherine de Bourgh. She has 1 daughter, who is Anne de Bourgh. Anne is the heir to Rosings, and she is Mr. Darcy's cousin, which makes Lady Catherine Mr. Darcy's aunt. Lady Catherine de Bourgh is also Mr. Collins's benefactress. In other words, she hired him to be the clergyman or minister on her estate. Mr. Collins is, yes, a clergyman, but he's also, and more importantly, a distant cousin of Mr. Bennet, and he is the legal heir to Longbourn. I hope this will help you keep everything straight in your mind so that you can enjoy the novel.